hesitation. I already know what you're saying. I love a little conversations, and I don't want you to go changing. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable and let's go. Feels so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Situation. We don't spend time hesitating, and I wouldn't say we're crazy in love. I would just say we're crazy enough. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. You just feel it all too. Cause girl, you're comfortable and let's go. Feels so good just when I roll through. And I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold. Baby, I'm with you if you gon' be down. Cause girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. Girl, you're just so comfortable. I hope that you just feel it all too. You're just so comfortable. Cause girl, you're comfortable. It just feels so good just when I roll through. I just think it's so crazy what you do to me. Girl, you're the baddest thing, you know that. That's true. And I really need you to show it. So turn around, let me get you on the cold air. I don't know what you do. Yeah. Let me get you on the cold air.
Welcome one and all to another amazing night here in Tranquility.
We absolutely are in for a treat of a match here tonight, no question about it.
And the grenades from Pomku eliminate everybody on the field.
Now I'm between something as well. It's going to be a fly stab with that plus him, and it's going to be huge. Fighting three.
The double kill with the Bastion ulti? Alright, I see you guys.
For B-Well, look to find a stick there, finds the stick, they find two with it!
Those who find the picks will save the fights, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
And Cam with the 4-man punch off the map!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tranquility Gaming Season 10 Championship Bracket coverage. It's the final 3 weeks of the Season 10 of Tranquility Gaming. My name is Bowsy, and I'm joined here by Denji as we start off the Championship Bracket with our quarterfinals match here in the Harmony tier, Denji. And we have one heck of a matchup ready to showcase here tonight.
Yeah, both these teams are really strong. Geo coming off of an unfortunate loss to flashbacks last week, but Galactic Penguins coming out of the gate swinging and reverse sweeping the number 2 seed and Pause champ last week to keep their playoff run alive.
Absolutely a big win last week for Galactic Penguins. Geometric, they did get a win earlier in the playoffs up against the Koala Kings to lock themselves in to the playoffs, and now two of the most highly contested championship running teams are out in the Koala Kings and Pause Champ, so these two teams have a lot under their belts, and both are looking to advance themselves into the semifinals here today with a chance to face off against the winner of Onigiri versus Disclosen. So there's a lot on the line for these two teams in the quarterfinals of the Harmony tier, and it's all going to come down to this match to determine who's going to be moving on to the semifinals next week.
Yeah, and I would expect this one to almost go all the way or close to go all the way. Both these teams have their own style. Galactic Penguins, very flexible. I've seen them pretty much run brawl comps, dive comps, ball comps. A lot of their comps revolve around their forward player, Doha. But Geo, I heard that they did, earlier this season, they did pick up a player named Bard, who also is a forward player, so we'll see if he can contest Doha in the skies.
Yeah, Bard, a very well-known veteran to the Tranquility community, part of, I believe, the Modify roster that won the Season 5 Harmony Tier Championship, or at least part of Modify in some way, shape, or form, so Geometric have some firepower behind them in addition to all of the championship players from last season's Koala Kings team, albeit on different roles, but still, you have a championship team here in Geometric, recruiting people like Bard, Revolutionists, right before the end of the playoffs, but Galactic Penguins have a lot of rookie power in addition to Chobi, who's switched over to that support role, now completing the trifecta of roles here in the Harmony tier, playing tank, DPS, and now support here in Harmony tier. So this is going to be one heck of a contested match between two teams that have shown to be really the best of the best all season.
Yeah, GP, a bunch of rookies. They also have a player from EU playing on high ping, their flex support, Luna, who unfortunately was going to be playing in the EU tier, but unfortunately it didn't happen this season, so she was looking for a team in GP. Picked her up to replace their former flex support. I forget his name, but he just had some issues. Issues came up with him, so Luna's looked very strong. Even a high ping, she's really good on that. On Cutico, whatever she's played, she's looked really strong on it.
Absolutely, you love those ping warlords that can play on North American ping from the EU. Luna, of course, has done a lot of that in the past. Obviously, coming over from Season 8, she moved over to its Discord tier North America last season, playing for the Thunder Duckies on DPS. But now going back over to that support role, and she has shown to be a really good influence here for the Galactic Penguins. And we'll have to see if Luna is going to be part of that equation to try and bring Galactic Penguins to that semi-finals appearance. We're going to be getting into the match here very soon, but it is worth noting, whatever map is going to be first, it is Geometric's map pick, because they are the higher seed in this matchup. They are the number 4 seed because they made it up to the upper bracket, while Galactic Penguins are the number 7 seed because they had to make it through the lower bracket with only 1 life to their name.
Yeah, they held on to that 1 life. They don't want to say tore through the lower bracket. They went to 5 against Chrysalis in a map. They went to 5 against Chrysalis where they edged it out against them on Antarctic Peninsula. And funny enough, the final map that to complete the reverse sweep against Poshchamp was Antarctic Peninsula as well. So they know how to play that map, and they look very strong at it. They rely a lot on ball comps on a lot of the maps, because if there's one thing that I've seen throughout my time here in Trank, Harmony tier kind of is like the tier that has trouble dealing with multiple things at once. So you got the ball tracer trying to boot people around. You got Phantom up in the sky. Phantom, or his battle takes is Doha, up in the skies, just rain and fire. And then you have Luna, who either plays the Kiriko or the Ana. Really depends on what the team's feeling. Ana did get a nerf recently where her biotic grenade explosion healing get nerfed from 100 down to 60, so it is a little harder to survive as Ana by nading yourself. But I honestly think that the nerf's not really a big of an issue. Nade should be used offensively anyway to set up kills or force Suzu out from the Kiriko.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see what these two teams decide to go, as the first map has been chosen by Geometric. As much as they would like to go to Antarctic Peninsula, that stat where Galactic Penguins has won both of the last times they played on it is a little worrisome. So they're going to be bringing us to Nepal for the first map in this series, and that is the control map that they are choosing here. So we'll have to see if this is going to be a decider map, because obviously this is a much more close-knit series. It is first to 4 in the championship bracket, which means you win 4 maps. You win the entire series, compared to first to 3 up until this point. So it's going to be interesting to see if Geometric can try to get that advantage with their map pick and start off on the right heel as we head into our first map of the series. As I mentioned, Nepal is the choice of Geometric, who are the higher seed in this match.
Yeah, last time I saw Galactic Penguins play Nepal, they played a lot of Diva Ana Pharmacy with the Tracer. On all 3 points they actually did, on both of the points all 3 points they did that. They did C9 against Chrysalis on one of the points and one of the features, but that is in the past. Geometric, though, from seeing what they've played in the past, they really like that brawl. Pomku, my mistake, is very good on like the Rhine, and he's probably like one of the best Junker Queens in Harmony tier. And JQ did receive like buffs earlier in the mid-season patch, so as you see Geometric running on the JQ already here.
Yeah, we see Pomku on that Junker Queen already. Buffs is an understatement at this point for how much Junker Queen has received in that mid-season patch. But the two teams coming out with very different compositions. Geometric running that Junker Queen brawl, while the Galactic Penguins opting for this ball comp here, Denji.
Yeah, it's just all going to be about if Geometric can actually get on top of Luna or Elixir as on that Ana. That is their main target, is that Ana, because that's the main source of the healing. Everybody else on GP is very, very hard to kill, unless... Oh, well, I didn't actually notice Bard is wearing that soundbar, so that is going to slow Gizmo down a bit, but Pomku finds a knife on Doha of all people to start.
Yeah, good knife there from Pomku to eliminate the flying threat in the sky in Doha. Gizmo also getting hacked up here. Geometric having some stabilization already. They're going to be taking that point first.
Yeah, and actually the way you kind of beat the JQ is Ramatra and Ryan still beat her, because JQ just struggles in prolonged engagements. She doesn't like to poke, she likes fast fights, fast kills, and it's done. If you manage to like prolong a fight, JQ just struggles over the time.
Absolutely, as the two teams waiting for each other, just staring each other down, trying to find the perfect opportunity. Just trying to heal up Churd here. Churd, who's getting beat down a little bit there. Geometric still in control. GP are looking for the engage, and that's a good way to start. Doha finding the first kill onto Churd. Opens up the opportunity here for the Galactic Penguins. Start engaging here. Make that a second kill for Doha here on this Farah. Finds the kill into Igglebop with Elixir. Finishing off 3 kills for Doha in this fight. Gonna finish up Bard with the help of Sky, and Galactic Penguins flip the point.
Yeah, really nice play from Sky, actually. They're forcing Bard to translocate away, so then it gave room for Gizmo to actually set up a dive onto Yuno. And also, Elixir hit a really good anti-grenade onto the back line. That's another thing. Gio's not running that Kiriko, so once the anti-hits, it lasts a duration. There's no cleanse or anything. No cleanse on either side, but Pomku's going to have a hard time landing the Rampage onto multiple targets. If E-Team's probably just going to go for like a solo onto Gizmo.
Gizmo getting bullied right there. Got hacked, got knifed, got grenaded, almost got fanned and hammered, but still able to stay alive, at least until they get hacked again by Bard. Bard able to finish off the kill onto the hamster there. So Galactic Penguins down their main tank right now, just trying to recover from this. Doha is the barrage, but gets solo EMP'd by Bard. Sky is able to finish off Yuno, but the picks are all blue in the kill feed. It's going to be Geometric flipping back the point in their favor.
Yeah, Sky used the pulse on too. Didn't get anything with it, but if you're GP, I think it's not the best trade because Geometric's going to have 4 ults up, but they did manage to get that EMP out, and now Gizmo's just going to go over to the Diva. Diva a little more leeway against this comp. She can defense matrix the knife from Junker Queen, which shouldn't work, but does work, and then she can also spy check Bard a little more freely because she has infinite ammo. Wrecking Ball doesn't.
Yeah, Yeah, listen, if apparently Diva can defense matrix a knife, but cannot defense matrix a rock. Get on that, Blizzard. But still, Galactic Penguins right now, they have the advantage of this Pharah in the sky. Has to force out the nano boost from Yuno, who gets to sleep onto the Tracer. The nano boost applied on the Church, just trying to deadeye the flying threat, able to eliminate the Mercy, clip her wings out, just has to try and get rid of the Pharah, but Doha's still getting healed up, still staying alive through all of this. The B has to be invested here from Igglebop as the flip went in favor, as Geometric still in control of this point. Galactic Penguins trying to find any way to get in, and there's 2 picks right there. Both DPS down for the side of Geometric. Doha finds a third on the Igglebop, and it's going to be another flip here from Galactic Penguins once they get themselves healed up.
Yeah, and Galactic Penguins, that whole entire fight, only using that nano boost. Geometric parting ways with the Deadeye, the Beat, and their nano only having that rampage of Pomku to rely on now. And what are you gonna even rampage? You rampage Gizmo, he can fly away. You can't rampage the Ana because she's up on the high ground. Sky's not gonna be near you. This ultimate from Pomku is pretty much like negated by just because of the mobility that Galactic Penguins comp has. And Bar's still quite a ways from the EMP, but Barrage comes out early. That's great, at least.
Yeah, it's a good trade. The Igglebop does die. Now Yuno out of the picture thanks to the pulse bomb from Sky. Geometric now looking very dire here. Barnes able to get a little bit of damage in, but has to back out. Bomku's the last one remaining on the point. Is trying to solo carry here on the Junker Queen, but right now is having a very rough time. Gets pestered from all angles, and now it's last fight territory here for Galactic Penguins to try and get the point.
Yeah, now Geo's, they're still hanging on to the Rampage. Just like I said, the mobile comp, they're just going to dish the Rampage as Pomku just goes over the D of the match. They are going to have that EMP coming in, but GP, they have that bomb to reset if Gizmo gets demec'd. Elixir's going to have a nano boost onto Gizmo, actually, if needed, or Doha. I would expect it to go onto Doha to just like to rain terror in, because he's been really strong on this map.
We'll see. Nano boost goes on to Doha here. Already finds the first pick onto Bard. EMP now out of the picture. Make that 2 for Doha here on this Pharah. Showing up when it matters the most. Gizmo eliminates Churd, but the Galactic Penguins are still fluttering and keeping themselves alive. Pomku gets anti-nated, has to get demec'd here. Igglebop is the last remaining support. Gets hit with one rocket, gets hit with another, and it's going to be Galactic Penguins completing that almost reverse sweep here on the first point and taking the first point on the ball.
Yeah, that... I think because Geo was playing also grouped up, that Phantom just shot into the group of bodies and killed Bard. I don't know if Bard was stealth or not, but just getting Bard out of the equation takes the EMP away, takes the EMP engage away completely, and GP just swiped the floor with the ultimate advantage there. I think it was just the fact that Pomku stayed on the JQ way too long, didn't even use that Rampage just because Galactic Penguins comp was so mobile. You can't hit anybody with that Rampage and reliably get the kill. But Geo going over to that stock standard brawl that you usually see on this point. Galactic sticking with their Pharmacy Diva, and this is all about taking angles and just making Pomku look in one direction, having the Pharah take the other angle, so then it's hard for him to shield 2 different spots at once.
Yeah, it definitely is. You see the 2 teams coming out. Geometric obviously want to play on that point. Galactic Penguins want to take that poking approach, and you already see it with this angle coming out from Doha. Almost finds the first pick onto Churd, but the healing is there to keep that Mei alive. Now the sustainability can be here for the Galactic, for Geometric, who are currently on the point. A wall comes up, boosting up Gizmo up to the high ground. Bard trying to beam them down on this Symmetra. It's going to be difficult to try and find a target when Galactic Penguins are all over the place. Still, the damage is coming in, doing a lot of damage over to Gizmo. Almost demexed that Diva, but they are able to fly away before a moment's too soon. Geometric are going to get the first cap here, but Galactic Penguins are still poking from the outskirts.
Yeah, and they're fine with giving over the first cap with GP. You're just looking for a pick with this Pharah, or just to put enough pressure on, because Geo can only do really one thing, that's bunker against this comp, which is what you're supposed to do against the Pharmacy. But that's a massive pick. Speed's gone. They can't maneuver that well anymore at all.
Absolutely, Igglebop falling is not a good start here for Geometric. However, Gizmo is out of the mech. They ended up getting demeched at the start, and they're actually going to fall here to Pomku. It overextends, but you just open the point to the Pharah. Doha's now sitting on the point underneath the cover. Who needs a roof when you have Doha just coming out from all angles? And the point goes to the Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, this guy, I played with him in Season 8. His Pharah was extremely strong back then, and it has not. He has kept up with it. Now he's gonna have that barrage. Now if Geo immediately switch over to that Diva, but they keep the Mei. This is actually what this is actually the composition that Chrysalis did actually defeat Galactic Penguins with on this map. But GP, I would expect them to actually know how to counter it out now, because the Mei just they're just gonna look to bunker again, and now since Pomku's on that Diva, he has a little more leeway trying to defend against the barrage.
start bunkering. Amplification Matrix using Pomku's able to use the Pulse Bomb here from Sky, but Doha's nano boosted in the backline, trying to look for rockets into the enemy team. Immortality feels out, and there comes the barrage right into Bard's face, but Doha gets eliminated by Igglebop, so it's still in play here for Geometric. They still have an opportunity to try and win this fight, with Gizmo now getting demexed. It's a self-destruct right in the middle. Thankfully, no one is killed from that on the side of Geometric. They are still holding on here, but now Yuno is out of the fight as well. They're trying to burn down Elixir, but the healing is there from Chobi. Churd ends up sacrificing their life in order to find that kill on the Ana, and it's a back and forth affair right now, but Galactic Penguins currently look like they're in the advantage. The wall is there from Bard, but it will fall immediately. Gizmo once again loses the mech, and the beat comes in from Igglebop. Suddenly Geometric are in the advantage for this fight.
Yeah, just having the Sim and May lets Geometric lock down the point a little bit more. Having that wall, the turn slow, beam ramps up. Churd, since he did sacrifice his life for that kill onto Elixir, held onto that Blizzard. It's gonna be up to Gizmo to negate that, but then again, it's not really gonna, it's more of a zoning all at this point, because the only person you're probably gonna catch is maybe Elixir or Gizmo, because everybody else is probably not gonna be in range of you.
Let's see what the plays here from the Galactic Penguins. No ults on the side of them, but Geometric in 90% territory, trying to finish out this point and bring us to a decisive point on the Sanctum. Churd almost goes aggressive again and almost gets picked off that time. Mortality field used here from Yuno, and the Blizzard finds Pomku as they use the self-destruct. Your tank out of the picture, but the Blizzard is there. Bard able to eliminate Sky and Churd able to eliminate Doha, but not at the cost of Yuno and Bard themselves. Geometric still trying to hold here. It's Igglebop and Churd right now, trying to keep this point under wraps. Chobi is there on the Mercy, trying to get themselves out of harm's way, but ends up getting picked up. Gizmo, however, is back in the mech. There's still potential here as that Nano Boost is applied from Elixir, and Churd gets burnt down to the ground. Gizmo still alive, keeping themselves kicking, dragging Galactic Penguins, kicking and screaming across the finish line right now, but Geometric are still kicking and screaming themselves. Bombku's back in the fight. Igglebop is trying to keep everybody alive as Bard is back, and the Galactic Penguins step off the point at the most crucial point. Geometric are bringing us to Sanctum.
And again, GP, I thought you worked on this. They C9'd a total of 5 times in their match against Chrysalis. And the 2 times in the map they did C9, they lost. That might get to their head. I hope it won't get to their head, but GP, they had the advantage there. Pomku is out of mech. Both supports for Igglebop only there on the loser to try to sustain. And Gizmo had that bomb, but just steps off the point for 1 second, and the overtime meter just drains super fast. Now, Geometric, they're kind of calling on a Brig Kiriko comp, and Galactic showing more of like a poke comp with the Diva, which is what they played against Chrysalis, which really worked well on this certain point. But I don't really know if the Sombra's going to get that much value here unless you're like just going for solo hacks onto Chobi and trying to assassinate him.
Sombra does provide a dive opportunity here for the side of Geometric, as there is a double flex support with very little dive prevention here for the side of Galactic Penguins. And Pomku, however, is already out of the fight, so he's lost her Diva mech already, thanks to the damage coming in here from Doha and Sky. So much damage being pumped into the side of Geometric that the Galactic Penguins are going to be able to force him back and take the point first.
Yeah, and just having the Discord orb, having this massive output of poke, Yuno and Igglebop are just going to have a hard time keeping Pomku in their mech, as Pomku goes over to the JQ, but if GP plays this correctly, they just can preemptively rotate and just like lead Pomku in a wild goose chase, or just discard him and keep him at range, because JQ has no self-sustaining abilities to keep herself alive through a high amount of damage.
Well, we'll see. The team ends up getting distracted thanks to the help of that Sombra, and Pomku now able to push right forward. Good engage there from Geometric, as now they have control, but they don't have control of the point. Gizmo gets isolated out, but now 2 picks are coming in favor of the Galactic Penguins. They were able to sustain through that push, and they're able to win the fight overall with now 37% in their favor.
Yeah, and that's where the JQ, it's like good for like 1 burst kill, but GP played that beautifully and just backed up, kited, had Gizmo just go for a solo kill, gets Igglebop, speed's gone, disengage power is gone because Pomku used the shout. Galactic's playing this really well. That's what you want to do against Jungle Queen, is just kite her engages. You can't brawl up front with her because she has so much self-sustain with her bleed buff.
That's a good hack, however, onto Gizmo. Forces out that Diva to try and panic a little bit and ends up getting the Diva demeched as well, right before Gizmo had bomb as well. That could be catastrophic here. Here comes the Nano Boost and the Tactical Visor to try and save it. EMP from Bard lands on the Doha, but the Tactical Visor just melts that Sombra to the ground. Galactic Penguins still doing really good on this hold, and right now they're approaching last fight territory.
Yeah, that EMP, really questionable from Bard. I would have liked to see him save that, but now they're already down Igglybuff, and Igglybuff almost was 80% of that sound barrier. The knife doesn't even get Chovy. That's a massive rampage though from Pomku.
Right into the backline goes the Rampage, finds the kill in a 2, but it's traded out here from Galactic Penguins. They're still finding the picks that they need. Doha's just sitting on this point uncontested. Gizmo is in your front line, eliminating everybody. And the Galactic Penguins sending a statement here on the first map, taking the ball.
Yeah, and people may think JQ is the meta, but GP played that perfectly, just making it hard for Pomku to engage. By the time Pomku's like in the fight and on top, he has to use Shout, they have to use Suzu, they have to use all the abilities just to keep their tank alive because of the poke damage coming off from GP. And GP just played that beautifully, kiting away from the Junker Queen, knowing they can't take the brawl. If anything, they were trying to just baiting Pomku to the rest of the team to engage, while Gizmo was coming from the backside with the pincer maneuver and just killing the backline every time.
Yeah, definitely. It was a very difficult road there for Geometric. They were able to take that point on Nepal Village, but, I mean, if we do not see the Charlie Niner coming out there from Gizmo, then there is a very likely chance that we see Galactic Penguins taking that 2-0. But overall, a really good start to the series, and now Geometric, they have to choose yet another map because they lost that one, and it's going to be the hybrid map that they have to choose here. Denji, of the map selection that they are given here in the playoffs, which are Numbani, Kings Row, and Parejo, what is the map choice here that Geometric you think would benefit from the most?
Kings Row. They're a brawl team. Go to the brawl map.
Okay, simple as that. You want to go to the brawl map. You want to be able to play that brawl composition. So we'll see if that is the map choice here for Geometric. And as well, obviously there are other teammates on the side of Geometric that they might want to swap in, because of course we do have a requirement where you have to play 2 maps here for a match here in Tranquility, and we did get just word the map in choice for Geometric is indeed Kings Row. So we will be going to Kings Row, the quintessential brawl map for our second map of the series here. Definitely a good pick here from Geometric, but at the same time, we've also seen Galactic Penguins really tear apart the brawl that we saw from Geometric, especially when it came to Nepal Village.
Yeah, it's just like with Control, it's a little more wide open, a little more little more flank angles, a little more movement. Kings Row, first point. There's like a couple entry points, but it's like hard to play like that Diva Far comp. Far really doesn't have any Far doesn't have that much cover on first point. She struggles in Streets phase 2. She struggles on third point. Geo just playing to their strengths. They play brawl really well. I think last time I saw them play, they would play that brawl comp where they ran a Bastion and May, just to make the enemy tanks life basically impossible to live, because once Bastion goes into that turn form, he even with the damage decrease because to make up for the mobility that he has, he still does a considerable amount of damage in that 8 seconds that he's in that mobile turn form.
Yeah, definitely. And as you saw, the sides are also going to be swapped. Galactic Penguins opting to take the defense first here on Kings Row. So they want to wait for Geometric's attack, try to stop them as much as possible, and make their lives a little bit easier when they have to go on that attack. So we'll see if it's going to work in the favor here, as we're hopefully heading into Kings Row here very shortly to see these two teams face off once again.
Yeah, if anything, Geo has a big roster. I wouldn't be surprised if Sign Off, if he's here, comes in, because he usually is like the main Bastion player for this team. Revolutionist, a great Lucio player. I don't know if he'll be in or not, but Rev was like their most recent pickup. He played on Season 8 on Nemesis when that was the team. He was their main support. He really great main support player, and would be surprised if we see any subs from Geo come in, because if they're going to play the brawl, they don't really want Bard. They don't really want Jerry. Jerry, I think, is just a Genji one-trick. I haven't really seen him play anything else besides Genji, but who knows? I've seen him play on Kings Row with that Genji, and a lot of teams have trouble dealing with the Genji since he's super slippery, but if he commits and doesn't get the kill, he's a little easier to deal with.
Well, you say that, but the only swap that we are seeing thus far is Jerry coming in for Churd. So they will have to prove that they are much more than a Genji one-trick here in this map as we head into Kings Row. Again, Galactic Penguins on the defense, and right now we're seeing that Pharah once again from the side of the Galactic Penguins here, Denji.
Yeah, Phantom's just gonna have to play a little more cover around the hotel. He can't really play in the open around Statue. Geo coming out on the Junker Queen role again. Now, I'm surprised that Churd got subbed out of all people, because Churd has been their main Mei player throughout the season. I wonder if, I'm seeing Jerry on it right now, so I wonder if Jerry has recently been practicing or has been practicing over the course of the season to maybe extend his hero pool a little more.
We'll see what Jerry is capable of as we start the battle here on King's Road. Geometric coming out of the spawn door. Bard looking for an early shot, or well, I thought he was looking for an early shot. Must have switched over to Sombra immediately, but still Geometric with this Chunker Queen composition. Already get a good knife there onto Gizmo, just trying to bait out that diva who's standing on the statue. But right now, it's just a poking game here for the side of Geometric.
Yeah, and Elixir takes down Jerry of all people immediately at the rip. This is the Geo. They're a very good brawl team, but what Brawl struggles against is multiple angle comps, and that's exactly what Galactic is playing. They're just having Gizmo sit on the statue, kind of show himself as a massive target, and then everybody else is coming in from different angles to like make a giant collapse. So when the Geo's standing around the statue, they're like getting attacked from 3 different angles.
Absolutely. You have Gizmo on the statue, Tracer's there over on the right, you have the Kariko up in the window, and the Pharah from on high. Every angle is currently being taken, X, Y, and Z. Meanwhile, Gizmo gets hacked here on that diva, has to try and fly away, keep themselves alive as Pomku pushes over to the diva of their own, and Jared's over onto the Hanzo here to try and provide some extra damage, so Geometric might have an opportunity here as now they are full-on committing to chasing down Gizmo on that diva. Elixir has to use the Susan in order to keep their diva alive. Right now, it's a back-and-forth affair. Just poking game once now, but Jerry able to get the first pick. A headshot right into Doha, and that is going to be a very hard target to res, considering it's right on top of the point that that Geometric are currently capping.
Yeah, and that was actually a very great setup hack from Bard. Getting that hack onto Phantom, making him drop from the sky, and then Jerry just hits the final shot to kill him out of the sky. And now Chobi's dead, and GP invested the Kitsune Rush. They do even. Wait, Gizmo is actually trying to turn this.
Yeah, Gizmo can definitely change it. It's definitely possible to burn down targets, especially when you're in that Kitsune Rush. Gizmo has forced to use the self-destruct in order to keep themselves alive and gets the squish onto Ingledy Bob. Doha finish off a damage to Pomku as well. And 57% is all Geometric will have to settle for in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was a really great pickoff onto Doha initially, but then Geo just took a little too long to try to find anything else, and the rest of the GP were able to stabilize. Sure, they gave up 1 tick, but they're fine with that. But Geometric, they have 4 ultimates here. If they blow all 4 and don't get anything, this is going to be bad. But if anything, Bar just goes for a solo EMP maybe onto Elixir and tries to get that insta-kill before she can get out.
Pulse Bomb from Sky is a whiff. Nano Boost invested here onto Pomku in addition to the EMP coming out from Bard. So far 2 picks. Doha and Chobi out of the sky, so no longer have to deal with the flyers of the high ground. Pomku able to eliminate Gizmo as well, as now all that's left is Sky and Elixir who are poking for the back line. Sky's be able to get the touch, but it's getting burnt down by the rest of Geometric. The first point is going to be going to them.
Yeah, they burned down the time bank a considerable amount. GP, I think Bard EMP'd the fire combination of Chobi and Doha, so you got them down immediately. That's pretty much what you want to target in this composition, is to get them out of the sky. But Jerry, only ults really to work with now for Geo are that Sound Barrier, probably just going to be used again to the Barrage. But the Dragon Strike, it's going to be hard to get value unless you're just trying to split Gizmo after he's committed with it.
Definitely is possible here as Geometric now rounding that first corner right now in their positioning. Jerry looking for that Kariko in the back line. Has to be careful about the Tracer who's currently in the bar, but so far right now, Geometric doing a pretty good job just stabilizing on the cart and waiting for the damage to come to them. Here comes that Dragon Strike from Jerry to try and separate the members, but Doha's up ahead. Pomku, however, comes in with the perfect eat, but not enough eating from Pomku. Just got a little bit too stuffed, and both supports unfortunately get lost in the process. And Geometric are forced to reset as Sky kills Bard and Spawn.
Yeah, Sky gets Bard. Pomku might actually get staggered here. If that would be horrible, but oh, Yuno's there with the Yuno and Igglybuff are there with the support, but and now the GP had to back up actually because they lost Chobi really late in that fight. And now they're gonna have to give that second corner. So even though they did win that fight, they kind of lost it at the same time because Chobi fell so late.
Yeah, definitely not good there for Galactic Penguins being able to win that fight, but then not being able to get that stagger on the Pomku and losing Chobi means I have to back up and give a lot more space. Gizmo looking for the flank onto Yuno, but the rest of Geometric are right there to pounce right on top of it, make sure that he can't get that value that he's looking for. And Yuno able to get the kill onto Chobi as well, so now the Mercy Pocket is gone here for Doha, and he's just getting pressured out by this Nano Boost. And Diva Pomku goes directly for the Pharah. Bomb comes out here from Gizmo, able to eliminate Jer, so now it's even a fight here for both sides, and Geometric still trying to equalize the score. Sky's able to eliminate Bard here, or Bard's able to eliminate Sky here, backwards there, but Pomku 2. Able to eliminate Elixir means it's a good opportunity that Geometric will be able to cap this first point for their own.
It was looking a little good. It was looking like winnable for GP. They're getting the 2 kills, and then PomQ actually failing to get the kill into Elixir initially, because Elixir like just led PomQ in a wild goose chase and then got the TP backup. But a pause is called for here. But not sure which side is calling for that pause, but we'll see. But maybe players lagging. Servers have been kind of iffy on Overwatch lately, so not really surprised that like maybe somebody's lagging or has high ping, but not Luna, because Luna already has high ping to start with. So.
Yeah, if it's Luna who's calling for the pause because of ping, then it's totally a lie. Don't listen. I'm just kidding, but still, we've definitely seen a lot of good performance, but it's interesting to see how Galactic Penguins are going to respond to this, because obviously this tried and true Forest strat that we saw a lot of them on Nepal utilizing is not working as well here on Kings Row, and now they're heading into the Foundry stage, which is a ceiling. It has a ceiling. It's not as easy to get a lot of value there on Vara, because you're going to be on an enclosed surface, so you have to try and figure out what you're going to be doing here. Are Galactic Penguins going to full sale commit to this Vara comp, or are we going to be seeing swaps coming out from them when we get back to the action? That's going to be the question here, because I mean, obviously, we have not seen a lot of it working so far. Chobi's been getting picked off. You're using ults and not being able to win fights, and it's just been difficult for Galactic Penguins right now here on this attack. Or on this defense,
and also the big difference on Nepal was they're running Elixir on the Ana, so a little more range healing. So then if Chobi did die, Phantom had a little more of a chance to survive. On the Cutico, well, her healing takes like 2 to 3 business days to get to you if you're across the map.
Yeah, definitely, Seb. We head back into the map here now. Looks like everything is sorted once more as the two teams regaining, as the point is Geometrics. Now it's going to come down to what Galactic Penguins could do here with those 2 support ults. They use both of them in tandem, the Kitsune Rush and the Valkyrie coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Chobi unleash the pistol, but nonetheless, 3 kills already for the Galactic Penguins. They don't want that cart moving any further than 7 meters.
Yeah, I'm okay with both of the support ults being used, because you have to like stop the momentum from GP, and they're also staggering PomQ here. But the big thing is, why would party with both means you're going to be in the disadvantage now, because Geo didn't use anything. They have 4 in the bank, while GP only have that barrage from Doha coming up, and PomQ has shown, well, he can negate them pretty well. Even Doha like can get like a kill through it, but usually you get Trace's life for 1 kill, and that's not really what you want unless it's a support that you're killing off.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what the move is here from Geometric if they start making the engage once more, moving that cart 10 more meters. Barrage comes out from Doha, but it's eaten and hacked, but still get 2 kills with 1 rocket onto Yuno and Jer. Bard's able to eliminate Doha in the aftermath, but it's still a moral victory for the Galactic Penguins, as Geometric are once again having to retreat.
Yeah, stick on their PomQ is going to take him low, but both supports still alive for Geometric. Igglybuff has that beat. If anything, 2 ultimates invested, no kills from either one of them, and PomQ nearly dies trying to get back into that mech. Oh boy, this is just an ultimate fight right now. Where was Jerry to die from that?
Yeah, this is starting to get a little messy here. Geometric have invested all 4 of those ults at once, and so far they have not been able to equate a single kill to it. Yuno's now back in the grave. Same with Igglybuff. Doha is reigning supreme on this Vara, and Geometric are forced back to the spawn room with almost a minute left in the time bank.
Yeah, Jerry does pick off Sky, but Sky's gonna be back, and since PomQ had to reset off the map. But the concern I had with Doha playing with the enclosed space right here, he's actually playing pretty well, because he has a little more cover actually, and a little more protection from his diva than if he's up high in the skybox, which doesn't really make sense, but hey, it's Harmony tier. Anything can work here down here.
Anything can work in Harmony tier. I mean, we're seeing this Galactic Penguins run the Pharah. Good headshot there from Bard onto the Tracer of Sky. Already eliminates 1 crucial threat, and Gizmo dives right in to try and eliminate that Cassidy, but ends up falling to the hands of the Storm Arrow. And now Geometric, they have an opportunity to push, but that Nano Boost is now out of the picture here. 30 seconds as well, trying to get it to the end of the Foundry.
Yeah, but the good thing was Elixir and Chobi both parted ways with their ultimates again. Didn't get anything for it, but GP gonna have double DPS out, and now Gizmo switches over to the Junker Queen. Interesting here.
Very interesting move. We'll see if it works into the favor here for the Galactic Penguins, as now it's approaching 10 seconds remaining here for Geometric. They have to try and come up with a solution, but it's going to be difficult when your Ana's already out of the picture. A beautiful stick coming out from Sky, eliminating one of the main healers. All that's left is Igglybuff. The barrage from Doha finally doesn't get anything. Igglybuff does die to the Tracer in the aftermath, though. Bombku having to throw in the desperation bomb and finds 2! Gizmo and Elixir out of the picture. Bard gets picked off in the middle of the Deadeye, but it's still currently Bombku currently on the point. Yuno and Iggledy running back here on the Lucio and the Kariko. The Suzu comes in at the perfect time to keep that Diva alive, and Geometric are still in this fight. They need to try and finish off the picks here for the Galactic Penguins, and the Dragon Strike from Jer finds 2 as well. Geometric are maybe saving it for the brink of defeat.
Yeah, a couple big heroic plays from Bombku, and then Jer sent that Dragon Strike from spawn. GP is not expecting or not seeing where it's going. Rabbit gets canceled by Bombku with the Body Blaster. She's actually got a full Cactus.
This is insane. Geometric are pulling this back, and Bombku gets another squish onto Chovy. That's the second squish this map. Sky is the only remaining hope. Throws in the Pulse Bomb, isn't able to get anything. Gizmo and Doha running back. Elixir coming back as well. It is pandemonium right now. Galactic Penguins are trying to finish this damage control, but all they have is a bunch of Scotch tape, and this hole is getting larger and larger. It is leaking more and more water. All of a sudden, Galactic Penguins in perfect position, but one fatal flaw in the equation is going to send Geometric over the line and get that 3rd point here in King's Row.
Silver Life for GP isn't overtime, but that looked done. GP had killed. Yuno gets picked at the beginning of the fight instantly. 3 picks follow. Bombku just throws a desperation bomb over the air and finds 2 kills. And then Jer sends a Dragon Strike from downtown from his spawn. GP just not knowing where it's coming from. It's directly on top of the cart and it finds 2, and that just turns the fight in Geo's favor. They should not have capped, but GP fumbles again. They fumbled a lot in their match against Chrysalis and against PogChamp on the first 2 maps, and it did cost them a couple times, but they should have won that. That was done and dusted, but heroics from Jer and Bombku just willed Geometric over the line.
Yeah, definitely. Bombku and Jer dragging Geometric, kicking and screaming over the finish line here on King's Row, and now they're able to cap the full point, but they have no time left in the bank. If they did have time left in the bank, then that would be even crazier, but unfortunately not the case here. Now Geometric on the defense, and they're committing to a double sniper here with the Ash Hanzo, trying to get rid of any sort of far threat at this point here, Denji.
Yeah. The FAR is a problem when they're doing this. I'm just not gonna talk about what Galactic's on, because I know they're trolling, because nobody in the right mind would run Mercy, Lucio, and Sigma together.
I mean, there are definitely people who run it. If you were playing a map like Ilios well, there is definitely comps that revolve around Lucio Mercy, so we'll see. That's the call. Nope, Elixir going to be switching over to the Kariko, but basically the same thing that we saw from Galactic Penguins on their defense here on the attack.
Yeah, and Bard nearly gets killed immediately. I think he took a headshot from Elixir from downtown to start there, but survives barely. It's all gonna be about if Phantom can get a first pick or if Elixir can get a first pick, because Elixir, even though she hasn't really been killing that many things, she does like the first burst of damage to get the target low with the headshot of the kunai, because remember, Kiriko's kunai has a 3 times headshot multiplier, but excellent dive from Gizmo and Sky takes Jer immediately out.
Beautiful dive coming out there. Sky went in the back line, Gizmo came from the front line, and Jer was in a sandwich right there, unfortunately falling to the hands of both of them. But now Doha starting to reign supreme in the back line, finds the kills onto the supports. Elixir's able to finish out Bard, and a very quick cack from Galactic Penguins, being able to take that first point with ease in less than a minute.
Yeah, that was a great dive. Just noticing where Jer was, setting up that dive onto him. Bombku can't be in multiple places at once, so if he's distracted by them, it basically takes out the main mitigation that against Phantom's far, and he just rains damage in and gets 3 kills to end that fight there. But Bard goes back over to that Sombra from Nepal. It worked on one of the, every time he did play it, it didn't really work. One of the times he died with EMP in hand in a final fight, but we'll see if he gets any value here.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what the move is here from both of the teams. Geometric currently setting up on this high ground. Sky, once again looking for the flank in the back line, was on that mini health pack there by the other attacker spawn. See if it works in the favor. As you see, Bombku just moving immediately, focusing on that Pharmacy composition there. Ooh, good find for Sky. Finds the translocator of Bard, so that's going to take a little bit more time here for the Sombra to try and set up, as Galactic Penguins still looking for the opportunity. Here comes the Pulse Bomb right onto the Brigida of Iggledy, and they fall immediately. Jer is soon to follow. Bard is soon to follow. Bombku comes out again with another heroic bomb, but it only catches Doha, And at this point, I don't think it's going to save the fight, considering Yuno's now out of the fight.
Yeah, but again, it looked... GP might win this fight, but because... Well, actually, they're probably going to get the car a little further than I thought, because I thought it might be bad, because Phantom and Chobi did fall late in the fight again. That's not a thing on them, they're just getting focus fired, but because all the focus fire is going under the pharmacy, Gizmo and Sky pretty much have been uncontested this whole entire map.
Yeah, definitely. You probably need to focus a little bit more on the dive targets right now. Bard starting to go in, ends up getting pressured a little bit by Sky, trying to look for the kill, but ends up getting killed himself. Sky gets that early pickoff, and now that is a very good opportunity for Galactic Penguins to engage on this. They use the Kitsune Rush, and Jer on the Tracer now gets picked out of the picture, and that Kitsune Rush is applying so much damage into the side of into Geometric right now. They can't really sustain through all of it. They are able to get the pill onto Elixir, but at the end of the day, Galactic Penguins, they're going to be smooth sailing themselves into the Foundry.
Yeah, and Geo just struggling to get any foothold here. GP only using that Kitsune Rush. They have 4 ults coming in here. This is in 4 minutes. Third point is the hardest to cap of the 3 on like most payload or hybrid maps, and Geo only have that EMP to their name, and really Bard's EMPs have been hit or miss. Like, he got a really good one on their attack to eliminate the pharmacy out of the sky, but not really anything after that. But that's a 4-man EMP from Bard.
Beautiful EMP. The only person it didn't catch was Gizmo, because he was all the way in the front line, and Bard cleaning up the pick as well, finding at least 2 in that fight onto both supports. Gizmo gets hacked out as well and get killed out by Bard as well. Beautiful EMP setup, and the Geometric finally gets some sort of hold.
They got a foothold, but they're going to have to back up because Yuno died to a suicide dive from Gizmo, just trying to get any pick. But now Geo kind of... They're even in the ult bank a little bit. Jerry's got that pulse bomb, Pumpku's got the self-destruct. But you're mainly looking at Doha's barrage to try to break this foothold that Geo is going to have coming in here. But a Velk engage from Chobi, usually as a support player, you never Velk engage because it's just not really strong. The enemy team can just kite back away from it.
Oh, yeah, obviously, that is what Geometric are trying to do. They're trying to kite away around the next corner. Sky and Jer are currently having a Tracer duel there in the health pack room. Bomb comes out here from Pomku, is able to eliminate Doha. Sky loses the Tracer duel to Jer. Now Geometric, they're continuing to clean up these picks one by one. They only lost Bard in that fight, but still was a win, and Gizmo's going to be taking a dive. Goodbye.
Yep, and GP, they used that Valkyrie, they used a complete swap of the DPS line. Chobi also going over. Actually, GP is just going to swap the comp completely, resetting their ultimate economy. And now Geometric actually has in the driver's seat for now, since they have Yuno's ult and Igglybuff's ult coming up. And now it's going to be all about trying to just run at one target and burst him with this JQ. What a shot from Sky!
Beautiful shot from Sky, hitting Jerry right in the head. Trying to eliminate the mech from Pomku as well, but the Kitsune Rush is there to keep that Diva alive for the time being. But Pomku dives in and immediately loses that mech. As I say that, Sky able to eliminate that mech now. As Geometric, they're starting to fumble one by one. As Galactic Penguins, this comp swap is working in their favor. No ultimates, no problem.
No ultimates, no problem. That one, I don't even think that was on purpose. I think Sky was trying to kill Bard, and Jerry just happened to blink at the worst time in front of Sky and to get his head taken off. And now Penguins have about 4 ultimates coming into this fight. Now Geometric, they do have that EMP coming. They still have that sound barrier, but Pomku goes over to the JQ, resetting his ult charge again. So we'll see if anything happens here. But Kitsune Rush from Elixir, doesn't find anything yet. But oh no, Rampage whiffs from Gizmo.
That is not an ult that you want to whiff in these crucial moments. Gizmo gets 0 people with the Rampage, but it's still possible here for the side of Galactic Penguins to win. As EMP comes out here from Bard, but the beat is beautiful from Chobi, perfectly timed, helping Doha able to get that finish off onto the Sombra. Elixir also getting the finish off onto Jer, but Geometric right now, they're just trying to stall it. They need to try to hold this for 30 more seconds in order to have a chance at this map, but Sky goes to town with the overclock, eliminates everybody in sight. Bard is going to be able to turn to touch in the last few seconds. Right now, Geometric just trying to keep this alive. They need to wait 17 more seconds in order to keep themselves in this map. But Sky is on a rampage right now, finding 3 more, trying to go for the ace. Gizmo takes it away with Carnage, and the blade from Doha will be the final slash. 1 minute and 6 seconds for the Galactic Penguins. Geometric, the best they can hope for you is a draw.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to be in the position. Geo, like, maybe Geo had heroics on the third point, but GP just steamrolled through first and second, so they had a lot more time to work with here on the third, and they do push it in. That rampage whiff from Gizmo looks bad, but the EMP from Bard connects with 4, but the most important thing, it did not hit Chobi. Chobi far enough away to get that sound barrier off to counter out that ultimate from Bard. And then it's just basically a stall point at that point as Geometric tried to burn the time bank down to below a minute so they have a chance, but a minute and 6 seconds is what GP has to get one tick for them to go up 2-0 in the series.
See what is going to happen here. Is Geometric coming out of the spawn room. They're not running that Diva anymore. They're running Cass, Genji, Junker Queen here. So they want to try to commit to that Junker Queen comp and find themselves getting the draw here on King's Row here. But we'll have to see. I mean, Galactic Penguins, it looks like they're going to be sticking with this Pharah composition. Maybe running the Lifeweaver here for a little bit of trolling.
No, I think they're trying to get Sky up on the... Yep, that's what they're doing. They're trying to put me up on the high ground, but I wouldn't be surprised if GP go to their true and tried pharmacy. It worked really well. Geometric's gonna have a rough time. If they're playing grouped together, Phantom's probably gonna get a barrage in probably 10 seconds if they're all grouped up with the splash damage. But it's all gonna be on Bard to take down that pharmacy, or at least put enough pressure. Okay, Gizmo looks like just forgot to switch. That's gonna take a couple seconds off the time bank, but whatever.
Well, I think what Gizmo was looking for, they were looking for the dive out of spawn room to then just dive into the backline of Geometric. But now they're gonna be switching over to the Wrecking Ball here to try and distract this Junker Queen composition. This might be a very challenging task. Doha, however, able to rain damage from on high and already is a third of the way to that ultimate. And now Bard is out of the picture. Your hit scan threat is gone. Right now, Doha being able to rain even farther more supreme than they once were. Gizmo coming in for the dive, trying to get that much damage. And Sky is there in the backline, eliminating Jerry. Geometric, it looked like it's going to be a win here for the Galactic Penguins here on King's Row. Trying to stall it out, but both of the supports are low. Yuno gets picked off by Gizmo. Tomku is the only remaining person here on this point. Igglebop is there, but Bard able to eliminate Doha here, so it's not out of the frame just yet. Pomku is extremely low, though, has to rely on their own self-healing and is unable to do exactly that. But Bard is currently ripping the team of Galactic Penguins apart on this Tracer, but it's not enough ripping. Galactic Penguins take the second map, and now we're up 2-0.
Yeah, that's the main issue I had coming out with that Junker Queen comp. Sure, you're playing to your strength again, but again, Phantom just uncontested. Not to the point. Phantom, they are just focusing too much on Chobi and Phantom. Sure, they are they are raining a lot of damage and fire in, but you're not contesting what your backline's dying to. You're not contesting Gizmo or Sky. Sky and Gizmo were just the unsung heroes of that map. Just going onto the backline time and time again, getting Yuno and Igglebop low or killing them straight out.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the Geometric right now blindsided by the fact that Doha is in the sky, which obviously a pharmacy can be a big threat, but it's not the only thing right now that Galactic Penguins are relying on to get themselves victory. They are using that as a distraction to be able to find themselves in here, but now Geometric are in a very difficult position where they have to choose our escort map here. And I mean, it's going to be even more difficult considering the map pool at hand is Shambali Monastery, Junkertown, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Some of those definitely could be counters to Pharah maps, however. So, Denji, if you're Geometric, what map do you choose here for that escort map?
If you're sticking with your brawl, you go to Shambali. I wouldn't be surprised if Geo go to Shambali, but if you really, really want to take Doha's Pharah out of the equation or just force GP probably not to play the Pharah, you go to Junkertown. Super wide open, no cover for the Pharah. She's easily killed. Junkertown's dominated by snipers in the first place, so this makes Doha's life even harder. And Geo is really... They look strong on the poke comps when I've seen them play it. They have Pomku Sigma is very strong, but I would expect Geo to go to probably Shambali and just maybe force Phantom off of that Pharah, because Shambali's not really the greatest Pharah map either. Just a little bit of cover on first point. You're in a cave on second, so that makes it harder, and then third, no cover at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Geo go to Shambali here.
Yeah, definitely. Shambali Monastery, not really well known for Pharah maps, especially when the second point is the second point on that map is what I consider a combination between Horizon Lunar Colony and Circuit Royale, which is a terrible feeling for both Overwatch 1 players and Overwatch 2 players. Regardless of which, the map has been chosen, and you were right with the snipers. Junkertown is the map choice here for Geometric, so they want to try to take Galactic Penguins to this sniper map and stop that Pharah from even existing in the first place with such a wide open map on the first point, and maybe a little bit of Pharah on the second and third points, but still trying to eliminate that Pharah entirely from the equation here on Junkertown.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna play for it. If GP's smart, they probably will realize, hey, there's no cover whatsoever on this map for Phantom to play around. We're better probably off running him like the Hanzo. His Hanzo is pretty good too, so I wouldn't be surprised if GP like just go like a double sniper poke comp as well. But it's gonna be really up to the Widow duel between Sky and whoever the hit scan for Geo's that's gonna be playing this map. I don't know if they're making any subs, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see if there are any subs in plan here for the side of Geometric, because obviously they have a lot of they have quite a number of players. From what I'm counting here, they have 8 players in the lineup, so we've already only seen about 6 of them. So there are 2 players that we have not seen so far, so we'll see if there's any sort of swaps that they're willing to make here as we enter into Junkertown, hopefully very shortly. But definitely, it's going to be one heck of an interesting map here to see which team is going to be able to take the advantage. Obviously, we've seen a lot of Pharah from Galactic Penguins, but can they take a map where Pharah is kind of very difficult to do?
Yeah, and as we're waiting for the map to start, a couple of live score updates from the Harmony tiers. Disclosant is currently down 0-2 to Onigiri, and Strix is... They may not have won that rematch as Clairvoyance is currently beating them 2-0.
Yeah, difficult standings there. In addition, the Luminous Foxes, they've made it very far. They are the first elimination pool from the Harmony tier to make it to the championship bracket. However, it's not looking that much light. There is not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel right now. Flashbacks are currently up 2-0 over the Luminous Foxes as well. So a lot of teams in dire straits right now with 2-0 scores all across the quarterfinals right now in the Harmony tier. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's going to be like as we head into this next map, hopefully shortly. But definitely will be interesting to see how these 2 teams are willing to take it on.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're not going to have a night of 4 Overwatch. If every single series goes 4-0, then we're kind of like in the era of what Overwatch League was during the first week, where I think they had 19 matches straight that were 3-0s.
I mean, that definitely is a potential. We'll have to see if that is the case, but definitely a lot of interesting matches here, and this is one of them, obviously, because the Galactic Penguins and Geometric, I mean, we've seen how these 2 teams have tried to get themselves in, and Geometric right now are not doing as strong as many people expected. Some people had them going pretty far, some people had them already out at this point, but still, this could be very interesting if Geometric, which is a team, as I mentioned, comprised of several champions from Season 9, that get eliminated this early, but we'll have to see what the case is as we head into Junkertown for our 3rd map of the series. Galactic Penguins looking to go to match point. Geometric looking to take their first map before halftime, so we'll see if it's going to be the case here as we head into the wide open plains of Australia.
Yeah, and Geometric, they're comprised of a bunch of champions from Season 9, and also they've beaten the champions of Season 9 twice this season. Once during regular season, and then in the second week of playoffs, they beat KK again to send them to the lower bracket. So I'm not saying that Geo's out of steam yet, but I think they used a lot of that energy just to knock out KK. But Geometric coming out what I thought they were coming out on, Sigma, Double Sniper, but Galactic Penguins on the Diva still, but no Pharah, a Pocketed Ash, and a Torb. Interesting.
Yeah, an interesting pick here to run that Torbjorn. I mean, the main reason I probably see it is that you probably want to run an anti-Tracer, anti-Sombra comp, because, I mean, this map can allow for a Tracer or Sombra to come into your backline, so you have the Torbjorn to make sure that doesn't happen at all, but very interesting approach here. We'll have to see if this is going to be a good approach here from the Galactic Penguins. The Geometric coming out of the spawn door, currently showing that double sniper look. Denji will have to see if that double sniper is going to outrival Sky here on the Ash.
Yeah, we'll see. As Geo's running 2 1-shot, 1-kill with a headshot, and Sky with a damage boost, he can 1-shot, 1-kill, but not really. I just don't really get the Torb. Since Geo's not running a Tracer, Phantom's really not really gonna get that much value. Noah's gonna be up close to him for the use of shotgun. His poke damage is a projectile, so it has a little more of a weird trajectory. And his turret can just be shielded off or poked out, because really what is the turret gonna do? Pumpku can shield it, and then the rest of the team can just poke it.
We'll see what the turret is going to do here, as Galactic Penguins currently looking for any sort of advantage, but they are backing up extremely far, currently taking this chokehold here right by the houses. The Dynamite comes in, and Sky able to do the damage right into Jerry, eliminate the Hanzo threat, so 1 sniper threat already out of the equation. Bard is the other one right now, just looking for an angle. Finds Gizmo, who ends up dashing right toward the Widowmaker, and right now it's a pulse rifle battle between that Widowmaker and the Defense Matrix. Right now, it's basically just a pick battle right now. The first team to get a pick wins the fight, and right now, neither team willing to give an inch.
The other team willing to give an inch. The Discord is going to make Gizmo's life a little harder for him to do anything, especially, well, unless he just jumps on top of the Zen's head. He finds Yuno after just kind of pogo bouncing on top of the Zen's head for a bit there, and Geo, they're going to have to back up. Well, now they're really going to have to back up.
Yeah, that is pretty much a reset here for Geometric. Very good engage opportunity from Gizmo. Flies right over the roof, right on top of Geometric where they least expected. And Yuno and Bard unfortunately become the victims to that. But now we're seeing swaps coming out from Geometric. Bard over to the Sombra and Pomku over to the Diva.
Yeah, so they're realizing that Galactic is just trying to take angles on them again. Pomku can only shield one spot on Sigma. He has that absorbing rock, but Sigma did get the nerf where his accretion plus primary fire combo, it doesn't one-shot anymore. Oh, playing very dangerously, but now the Torp does actually come into effect because Bard switched to that Sombra.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how that Sombra is going to be impacted here by the Torbjorn from Doha. Currently going out, I believe, onto one target, but didn't really register as the Dragon Strike and the window come out here from Geometric. The Bob and the Kitsune Rush coming out for the Galactic Penguins. And it's trades on both sides right now, but right now the Galactic Penguins are showing a lot more kills in the kill feed with Sky and Doha showing up. There's going to be another reset here for Geometric as they only have a minute and a half on the time bank left.
Yeah, and Igglybuff uses that amplification mix to use Dragon Strike. GP do use a couple ults too, but the ult advantage still in GP's favor since they have Molten Core and they still have Diva Bomb. Geometric still have yet to build a majority of their ultimates as Yuno and Igglybuff had to switch off too. And now Bard, 70% of that EMP has to be massive if Geometric want to don't want to get full health here, but that's not looking. It's looking already really dire for GP as that's a nice, really big pick from Sky there.
Definitely a big pick. Jerry out of the picture means a lot of your damage is also out of the picture. Geometric right now looking very dire. It doesn't seem like they're really finding a lot of progress. The cart's going to start moving here thanks in courtesy to Bard, who's able to push that cart, but right now Geometric are just looking for an opportunity and none are really poking out. Here comes the Molten Core coming out from Doha, just going to lather the cart in all of that ooze, just trying to keep away Geometric. Bomb from Pomku goes a little bit too high to get anything as the rest of Geometric are just having to back up, but they go right into the Molten Core and right into the line of sight of Sky, who's finding several picks. And now with less than 30 seconds on the clock, it's looking dire for Geometric.
Yeah, Geometric just having a lot of trouble actually trying to find a dive target. Sky and Chobi are just playing so far away. They have to deal with the turn of Phantom, and also Gizmo's just putting so much damage into them on their entry that it's just hard for them to actually set up a dive. But Bart has this EMP. He's gonna set this up. He has to hit at least the back line or at least 4 people. But forced to translocate very early, and now Jerry's down.
Yeah, Jerry now out of the picture is not going to be good here. The Kitsune Rush is going to be invested here from Yuno, as is the bomb from Gizmo. Trying to land on the team, forces out the Suzu as the EMP lands onto 2. Elixir was one of them, though. So already a good advantage here for Geometric, but they start losing picks once again. Pomku and Yuno out of the fight as the overtime wick starts dwindling down. The Bob is going to be able to eliminate Igglybuff, and that's going to be a full hold from the Galactic Penguins. Geometric not looking good there on the attack. Only 75 meters taken.
Yeah, and this is... Geo, they're running out of steam. First map very close. Second map, a lot of heroics from Geometric to try to keep it close. But GP, this was a complete stomp on their defense. I don't even think GP had more than 2 deaths because just the fact that Geometric barely able to get anything done. Penguins are just playing perfectly. They're playing they're not playing grouped together, which is probably what Geo wanted, and then Geo just is struggling to find answers. They just seem lost in how to do anything. As Chobi and Sky were playing on one angle, they have Elixir up on the high ground, Gizmo's up on the main front high ground, their entryway, and then Phantom's just playing where he wants to play with his turret. So they have to look in 5 different spots essentially just to try to do anything.
Yeah, it's been very difficult here for Geometric, but now as they come out on the defense, they're going to be running that double sniper setup. We saw them on the attack with Bard on the Widow, Jerry on the Hanzo, Pomku on the Sigma, Yuno on the Zen, and Igglybuff on the Bap, and this might be a better approach here for the defense rather than the attack.
Yeah, defending with the Sigma is a little easier than attacking. Sigma especially thrives on when he has high ground control, and in order to get Pomku off of that high ground, they're gonna have to just either kill him or kick him off as a whole team because Sigma has the most self-sustaining kit of most tanks in the game. If anything, he hasn't really been changed that much at all since Overwatch 2's release, because he's just been so, like, I want to say balanced. He like hasn't really been like a really strong tank, but he's really strong on certain maps.
As this card starts moving here for the Galactic Penguins, Geometric just looking for any sort of pick right now, but haven't been able to find anything yet. Pomku gonna drop down to the low ground to stop the cart in its tracks, but you open up the high ground, and now you see the damage coming in here from Doha, just peppering that Sigma constantly. Not a lot of things that Pomku can do here apart from use those hands to suck up most of that damage, but it's already getting burnt down once more. But Jerry finds that important headshot, finds the kill on the Doha. Now most of that damage is gone here for the Galactic Penguins, and it seems like they're going to be soft resetting.
Yeah, GP just playing back in this corner. Well, now they're going all. I think they're trying to flip. GP actually trying to flip the map or trying to get Jerry. I don't think Jerry's aware of this, but oh boy, this is not. Yeah, they completely catch Jerry off guard. He probably thought he had the support of Igglybuff with him and just didn't really move.
Yeah, and it's looking rougher and rougher here for Geometric. More picks popping up in the kill feed thanks to Gizmo and Doha. And there is the team kill there for Galactic Penguins. Doesn't sound off the bell, but now Geometric having to switch to those stall picks because they need to get back to that cart fast.
Yeah, they need to get back to that cart fast, and I think if anything they're going to have Bard touch. They have to have at least somebody get on this point, or else Geo then C9s, but duplicate over to the Honda. Oh, what a shot from Phantom!
You can't just do that to him, Phantom! That was dirty! That was dirty, man!
Oh my god, the DPS of GP just looking insanely strong, and Geometric, it's not over yet. They still are in an area where they can reverse sweep, but GP, they're pissed off. I think they're still pissed off from Season 8 where they were denied their championship by Doodles, and they want a champion. They want to give Chobi a championship, because I don't think that guy has won anything in his time in Trank as far as championships go.
Yeah, Chobi's been in Trank for quite a bit, but unfortunately has yet to touch the championship medal for his own. So Galactic Penguins trying to bring a championship to Chobi, and Geometric right now are suffering the brute force of that right now. Geometric currently down 0-3 as Galactic Penguins lead as we head into halftime. Now it's going to be determined on if Geometric can make a reverse sweep effort, or the Galactic Penguins are getting their first sweep of the playoffs. When we'll come back, it's our push map, and we'll see if Geometric have what it takes to keep this series going. We'll see you after the halftime.
Don't be scared, 'cause we are gonna live in the sky. Are gonna live in the sky. Are gonna live in the sky.
Currently, Geometric's calculations seem to be a little bit off in their matchup up against the Galactic Penguins, as they are currently facing an 0-3 situation. Galactic Penguins currently at match point to try and find themselves into the semifinals of the Harmony tier. Bowsy joined here with Denji as we're heading into our next map, which is our singular push map in the series, Denji. It's going to be once again another Geometric map pick, and this one has to matter.
This one is do or die. If Geo loses, their season ends here. And a lot of people will be probably surprised that Geo ends their season this early, having the championship caliber roster that they have. They managed to snag Pomku, they managed to snag Synop, they managed to snag Igliop. All three championship caliber players from that Season 9 roster of Koala Kings last season. And GP, they come with a bunch of rookies. The only two veterans really on the team, Luna and Chobi. And Chobi, I think GP is just doing this for Chobi. Chobi has been in Trank, I believe, since I want to say season 6 or 7. He's won Roll Star Awards. He's won Best in Roll. He's had All Stars. No championship has ever been titled to his name. They're doing this for him. He's probably at the point where he needs that championship because he wanted to retire. He wanted to retire this past season as a champion. And he just said he wished he could, but he came out of retirement, played for GP as main support since they couldn't find one, and they have to make this count. Chobi, they're doing this for him.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that they are doing it for Chobi, so we'll see if Galactic Penguins are able to carry the torch for Chobi and find themselves winning the Season 10 championship, but they still have a long road to go, and that first step is conquering this final map that they need for Geometric, which, I mean, based off the Galactic Penguins track history, they've always gone all the way, so it could be very difficult. There's only one match so far in the playoffs that they haven't gone all the way, and that was up against Swordfish in Week 10, which I'm pretty sure they went all the way against in the regular season. So it could come down to the wire here. We could see Galactic Penguins going all the way, or we could see them getting their first 4-0, as I mentioned, of the playoffs here tonight. It's definitely going to be one heck of a match, and we'll have to see what Geometric are willing to do, because they still have players on the bench, they still have players that they need to play. We'll see if they bring them out here for that fourth map and are willing to try and make those adjustments, try and find a map victory here, because, again, it's dire. They lose this map, they go home for the rest of the Season 10.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Geometric coming out there. They chose to do Queen Street, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come out with the Junker Queen comp. She's strong there, but the problem with Junker Queen is that she struggles against multi-angled poke comps, and that's exactly what GP has been doing all night with their Diva. They're running like 3 angles at once, though. When Geo's trying to engage, they're getting shot from the side, they're getting shot from the back, they're getting shot from the front. It's just putting so much pressure onto the formation of Geometric that once they're actually on top of their target, they've used all their cooldowns just to get there to survive. And that GP just is doing a great job of kiting and forcing out cooldowns. So once GP senses they have no cooldowns, they have no way to get out, they didn't get the kill, we collapse and kill.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be difficult here for Geometric to try and get themselves in as we head into what could be our final map of the series, our fourth map, our push map, as the two teams meeting up here in the streets of Toronto, trying to determine if Geometric are going to stay alive in the season or if Galactic Penguins are getting that swift sweep. As we see here, Galactic Penguins, I mean, they already got the advantage. We're starting off in the curling room here on New Queen Street. And by the way, this is the Northern Hemisphere. Penguins like to survive here. But regardless of that, Galactic Penguins on the ball comp, Geometric on the Junker Queen comp.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised by this. I wouldn't be surprised if you see... And Churd also subbed back in for Bard. Jerry remains in. Churd on the May, interesting pick. It's a brawl comp, so May works, but May just really has a little bit more of an issue on this map because there's multiple chokes that the wall only cuts off half of the choke. But I think they're just gonna try to force Gizmo out and pretty much just play for that. But Gizmo looking for kind of a boop off here, maybe? Oh, he doesn't go for it.
Nah, wasn't able to go for it. Probably did not have the hook or the setup online, but still is going to try to go into the back line, try to pressure out the members here of Geometric, just using those cannons to just pressure out the Kariko before he even goes for the pile drive, and the Pharah from on top burns down Churn to the ground. Already a good start here for the Galactic Penguins, trying to find more, and they're able to find Jerry as well. No more DPS left for Geometric, as that bot is going to start going for the Galactic Penguins.
Yes, again, Geo just having issues trying to find a single target to go on. GP's comp doesn't really have a target that's on fragile and just stagnant. Elixir can move around TP, has Suzu. The DPS line very mobile. Gizmo's very mobile. it's just the comp that Gio's running. You have to play faster before the Pharah gets value, and they're not able to do that just because GP's comp so mobile, hard to get on top of anybody. But Geometric switches to Ana. This is, you're just giving Gio another dive target at that point. Not Gio, GP another dive target. That's really questionable to me.
See if Iana provides anything. Sky is currently pumpering down for any sort of target, but Churd is able to eliminate the Kariko of Elixir, but the barrage from Doha able to eliminate Yuno. Pomku also comes in for the kill Pomku also falls to Gizmo. Back and forth thus far, but it looks like at the end of the day, the Galactic Penguins will take the advantage without their Pharah, and hey, the Pharah even gets rezzed up. Good for Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, it looked winnable there. Churd found a really early kill onto Elixir, and another pause comes in here. But Gio, Junker Queen just doesn't do well in prolonged over the course of time fight. She wants the fight done and fast, and she wants quick kills. Even though Elixir did fall, they couldn't find another kill really fast. So then, Pomku's like in the middle of the road with no cooldowns to actually try to keep himself up, and the rest of the team can't keep him up because died through the barrage. I'm pretty sure. So GP just are in the driver's seat, and they're not letting go of that momentum. They've had momentum since that first map win, and they are not slowing down. If anything, I won't compare them to the San Francisco Shock current, because Shock are like in a really bad position right now. But GP kind of looking like 2019 Shock, where they completely ran through playoff lower bracket to punch their ticket back up into the upper bracket, and then never let go of that momentum. And that's what GP looks like what they're doing right now.
Yeah, definitely. Galactic Penguins right now showing a lot of momentum throughout this bracket as we head back into the game here. Geometric were the ones that called the pause. And we're seeing some swaps as well. Churd now switching over to that Cassidy, so they finally have a counter to the Pharah. But, I mean, we talked about that. Pharah is not the only problem here.
No, Geometric have been focusing, obviously, the Pharah, because Pharah does do a lot of damage, but they're not really contesting Sky or Gizmo again. And Geometric, they're making so many swaps that they're not really able to get any ult economy going. Yuno switches over to the Baptiste, Churd over to the Genji, and now GP just has a driver's seat again with the ult advantage, and I won't be surprised if GP full cap this, but Giz taking very, very low.
Yeah, Gizmo taking very low, down to 1 health, but ends up getting finished off there by Churd as the bot turns around here. Geometric gain control as Galactic Penguins just retreat with the 4 members remaining they have.
Yeah, no, Geo's starting to get a little more ult economy going. They also have the Blade, they also have that Rampage, they have the Sound Barrier to work with, but again, Rampage, not much value it can get. Gizmo gets hit, he rolls away. You're not going to hit Sky, Doha, Elixir. If you hit Elixir, he can TP or she can TP or Suzu herself. Jovi's up in the sky, and Gizmo already finds Yuno. This is probably over for Geometric as far as this fight goes.
Dive comes in for both of them, but Churd is able to eliminate Doha here. Chobi would have to get the res here if they wanted to stay in this fight, and Jerry is right now contesting them. Chobi goes in for the res and ends up getting picked off the wings clip from that Mercy as Geometric now are starting to move that bot forward. Galactic Penguins seem to be retreating.
Yeah, GP had to be retreating. Now Phantom switches over to the Echo. He's a very strong Echo player, but now Geometric, they're getting their ult economy going. 5 ultimates coming up for them in the bank here, and GP only the Pulse Bomb, Continuing Rush, and Valkyrie to work with. And every time they've used the that was massive from Sky to take Yuno off the board immediately.
And not just that, the Pulse Bomb was in the middle of the rest of the team. About 3 or 4 members got hit from the damage with that Pulse Bomb, and it brought everybody low on the side of Geometric. And the Galactic Penguins were able to clean it up from there.
Yeah, Elixir I think got like 3 headshot kills to clean up, so she's a former DPS player. She is coming into effect. I will say that DPS players are really good on flex supports, because flex support is mostly about half of the flex support's job is aim, and Elixir has an insanely great aim, as she was a hit scan player in Discord tier on NA Ping last season.
Absolutely, is now Geometric trying to set themselves to get a recontest, and Yuno's able to eliminate Sky immediately here, so a good start here for the side of Geometric. Here comes the Blade coming out from Jer, looking for anything right now, able to slice and dice Elixir to bits, trying to look for anything else, but nothing's in view. The Blade just gets 1, but, I mean, 1 is what you're looking for, especially with the fact that the close spawns were not activated for the Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, and neither close spawns are activated right now, and a little thing in the background, Gizmo managed to pick up Yuno very late, so Yuno's still running back, and now if GP can go fast here, since they have 3 ultimates, and Geometric had to part way with both DPS, and it's just, GP just like still has the momentum, like maybe Geometric has tried to turn it, but they're getting shot from all different directions, and Sky's and Phantom's still the problem, and everything's just going bad for them here.
Yeah, absolutely. The mine drops coming in, and the damage from Sky and Gizmo eliminating Churn and Yuno. Galactic Penguins looking to be really, really strong right now, and they're going to be able to get that checkpoint back in addition to start moving that barricade even further. But Jared getting that late kill onto Sky might turn things for the next fight.
Chobi does get the resurrect off, which means like if somebody else does die, but they don't have it. But GP has the realist geometric. He was still hanging onto that rampage, trying to find anything with it or a target to land it on. Again, Rampage, not really great against this comp. You can't really hit it onto multiple people, and if the people you do hit, they can just run away.
Absolutely, Elixir able to get the kill on the Churn there thanks to the help of that Kitsune Rush. Carnage does come out from Pomkun, does hit a few, but the rest of his team is dying around him right now. That Junker Queen not having a good time, trying to keep themselves alive, but the rest of Galactic Penguins just piling on top of the Queen. She is getting regicide to hell and back. Galactic Penguins still pushing that bot forward. They are approaching the final checkpoint.
They're approaching the final checkpoint now. 3 minutes left on the time on the clock here. Geometric have to play perfect. Pomku, he has to part ways with that Rampage by either using it or just switching, because you can't really get value with it. Again, Junker Queen in this comp, not great. It's just, she may counter ball like to slow ball's momentum down, but actually that's a big pick. Let me the cleanse off the board immediately.
Absolutely, and all the picks coming in there from the rest of Geometric. Churn gets 2 in that fight. The airborne duel out of the skies. Now Galactic Penguins having to reset, and Geometric now have the bot once again in their control.
They have the ball once again in their control, but they're going to have to win at least 3 or 4 more fights here. They're going to... And Gizmo's in the back line, looking probably for a setup dive with Sky, as he almost has that minefield up, and Sky has the pulse bomb.
It's going to be close here. Gizmo has that minefield behind them. Every ult from Galactic Penguins is currently behind them. Pulse Bomb not come out yet from Sky, but the minefield does from Gizmo. Dives right onto the bot, takes it back for their own as the beat is invested here from Igglebop, as is the Rampage from Pomku. Doha ends up getting the duplicate onto the Lucio, trying to keep the rest of the team alive and trying to get some boots in the process. Gizmo, however, is reigning supreme in the back. Doha gets the kill on the Lucio, showing his Reddit Lucio prowess here on this duplicate. And the bot is once again back in the control of Galactic Penguins.
Yeah, like I said, the Rampage finally comes up from Pomku, hits Elixir, Elixir just TPs away. No value gained from it whatsoever. It may have forced a cooldown out, but Galactic Penguins, they did use every single ult they had. Geometric only parted ways with their sound barrier and their Rampage, and now Geo, they have both DPS ults, and Sherd has that Deadeye to potentially take Chobi or Phantom out of the sky.
Oh, but Yuno is already out of the picture. A bunch of poke damage coming out from Gizmo. The mines land directly onto Churn. He's getting pressured out and will fall to the hand of Doha. It's not looking pretty here if you are a Geometric fan, as they are just getting pumpered with damage. The bot even hit the checkpoint as well. Galactic Penguins looking strong here in the last 2 minutes. Pomku will find Gizmo, but that's all they're going to be able to find.
Yeah, now only 2 minutes remaining on the clock for Geometric to try to get anything done. They almost had that bot. They didn't get the butt scratch going either, so even if they do somehow miraculously start a comeback, they have to wait for that downtime where the bot stands still. And GP, they're almost knocking right on the spawn door of Geometric because the bot is almost fully capped. Pulse Bomb misses, but it did force Churn to pull the Deadeye early.
Churn absolutely just tanking all of that damage right now. The blade comes out here from Jerry as well, trying to find anything right now with it, but everything that they're trying to slice is just disappearing in front of them. They weren't able to find anything, but still, Geometric able to profit off of it. A minute left on the clock, and now it's in their control. They cannot lose the spot for any remaining time in the match.
No, they have to keep control of this bot for the rest of the time, including overtime, because it is going to go to overtime. But GP having 4 ults, Geometric only having the 3, and the 3 they have are not really great in the ball comp. The Window may force LOS to give you space, but Rampage, not really that much value. Sound barrier can maybe protect against the minefield or at least something on the side of GP, but it's just looking really bad for Geometric because they used that window, didn't get anything from it but space, and now Gizmo's in the backline looking to stop a massive minefield as all 5 players are on the point.
Absolutely, everyone's on the point, and Doha burns Yuno to the ground before the beat from Igglebop could come out. Galactic Penguins trying to end this here, and now Doha finds another one, looking for a third, but Gizmo will clean it up with the melee onto the Junker Queen. Doha able to finish out the kill on Igglebop as well, and the Galactic Penguins looking to swim their way over to the semifinals with 10 seconds remaining. Geometric get our team killed out. They couldn't get the checkpoint. It looks unlikely they'll ever make it back to that bot as Galactic Penguins are moving to the semifinals.
GP showing this is the most dominant GP's looked most of the season. All the regular season matches, most of them were either very close or were very close or went all the way. And this is, I think, GP's like first actually showing that they are super dominant and they're a team to be feared. As GP, they're mad. They're mad from season 8. They're mad from last season too. They really want that championship win, and they show today that they're not messing around. They're full throttle. They're not slowing down until they are either knocked out of this bracket or they are crowned the champion of Harmony Tier Season 10.
Definitely, Galactic Penguins showing a very strong performance here today with that clean 4-0 sweep. You see it right there. The only map where they gave up points was on Kings Row, where they went to overtime rounds, and even then, it was still a very dominant effort from Galactic Penguins throughout most of that map, so they are definitely making a statement here. They are wanting to be known that they are going to take this championship, whether the rest of Tranquility likes it or not, showing a dominant effort up against Geometric and moving on to the semifinals where they'll play the winner of Onigiri versus Disclosing, which is currently tied 2-2. But that aside, with the dust settled and Galactic Penguins getting themselves a victory full of fish, Denji, I need to ask you, who is your player of the match from the side of the Galactic Penguins?
Sky. He was unsung hero. The spotlight was on Phantom for most of the spotlight was on Phantom for that whole entire match, just because he was so dominant up in the skies. But Sky putting so much pressure onto the back line, staying up those stats with Gizmo, just making it, just actually enabling Phantom to get those kills, taking the targets low enough that they die to one rocket impact. Sky, I honestly would say Sky's a very underrated player in Harmony. He's a rookie this season, first season in Trank. And he looked extremely dominant no matter what he played. The Ash, the Sojourn, the Tracer, whatever he touched, it was really great from him.
Definitely Sky having a very lights out performance there on that Tracer and other heroes that they played in this matchup. Definitely a really good candidate. Definitely Phantom was a highlight, but you mentioned another one that really was an unsung hero, and that's Gizmo. Gizmo was also being able to set up a lot of the plays that we saw Galactic Penguins make forward with that tank play. The Diva, the Wrecking Ball, sometimes we saw them on the Junker Queen. They definitely were putting a lot of effort in to try and set up the engages here for the Galactic Penguins, so I'm giving my player of the match to Gizmo, but that's not to discredit Phantom, because let's be real, the Pharah compositions were by far some of the best that we've seen in Harmony Tier. Phantom put on a menace through all of it, but there were the unsung heroes that didn't get as much spotlight in this matchup, but still did a great job overall. But Galactic Penguins, right now they're rolling on all cylinders right now, and they are looking to be a very competent foe as they head into the semifinals matchup. But that is going to do it for us here today. Make sure you follow us here at twitch.tv/TranquilityGG, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and tune in tomorrow as we have other matches in the Harmony Tier in addition to the Discord tier, or not the Harmony Tier, the Transcendence Tier in addition to the Discord tier. Tomorrow, it is a marsupial rivalry between Billions, Boomers, and Devil Dukes, and then join us on Thursday for Paradise Lost versus Avalon, 2 underdogs facing off. Again, all of these matches for spots in the semifinals. But that's going to do it for us here today. For my amazing co-caster, Denji, in addition to our producer, THC, and our observers, Cry, Mountain Mango Mike, and one last person I'm trying to remember, Khazix. Thank you for my amazing producer, THC. Again, thank you, producers, and thank your observers for doing all the work. But for all of them, my name has been Bowsy. Until we meet again, we hope you have an amazing night.